He was 14 years old when a soccer team paid him like a man, and a sportswear giant paid him like a legend. 14. Still in high school, and already the most famous young footballer in America. They called him the next Pelé. Pelé himself shook his hand for a soda commercial. One network ranked the hype around him above a teenage LeBron James. And then, quietly, over the next 15 years, he played for 15 clubs in 9 different countries and slowly disappeared. This is the story of Freddy Adu. Not a story about a bad footballer. A story about what happens when a whole country hands its dreams to a child. It begins in Tema, a port city in Ghana, where a boy kicked a ball in the street like millions of other boys. His future was not supposed to be different from theirs. Then his mother won a lottery. Not money, a green card in the American visa draw. In 1997, the family packed up and moved to Rockville, Maryland. And in the parks and fields of suburban America, the boy from Tema started doing things with a ball that grown coaches did not have words for. He was faster, sharper, more certain than children years older than him. By 14, he was tearing apart a Youth World Cup against boys who could nearly drive. American soccer, a sport still fighting to be taken seriously, looked at this kid and saw something it had waited its whole life for. A savior. Scouts from Europe flew in to watch a child. Newspapers ran the number of his age next to his name like it was a magic trick. There had been American prospects before. There had never been one the whole world wanted to see. In 2004, Major League Soccer did something no American league had done in 100 years. They signed a 14-year-old to a professional contract. He became the youngest athlete in modern American team sports to turn pro. Before he had kicked a single professional ball, Nike handed him a deal worth $1 million. $1 million to a boy who still had homework. He was not just a player now. He was a product, a poster, a launch strategy. A league desperate for attention had found a face, and it was the face of a boy who could not yet legally drive to training. On the 3rd of April, 2004, he came off the bench for DC United and became the youngest player in the modern history of American pro sports. 2 weeks later, he scored. The youngest goal scorer the league had ever seen. And for a while, the fairy tale held. He finished that first season a champion, 30 appearances as DC United lifted the MLS Cup. The cameras followed his every touch, the stadiums filled to watch a teenager. At 16, he pulled on the senior United States shirt, the youngest player ever to do it. 17 caps would follow. On paper, everything was arriving exactly on schedule. But look closely at that sentence. A whole league, a whole country, filling stadiums to watch a 14-year-old carry a sport on his back. Nobody stopped to ask if that was a fair thing to do to a child. Because the truth was quieter than the hype. He was a talented teenager on a team of grown professionals, and grown professionals do not hand their place to a kid. He started on the bench more than he wanted to. He grew frustrated, and he said so, publicly, the way teenagers do. And the same media that built him began to turn. The label that lifted him, the next Pelé, was now a stick to beat him with every time he was merely good instead of magical. So he went looking for a fresh start. In 2007, Portuguese giants Benfica paid $2 million to bring him to Europe. This was the move that was supposed to prove the hype right. A big club, a big stage, the real world of football at last. Instead, it was where the wandering began. At Benfica, he barely played. 11 games in 4 years on the books. And so they sent him out, again and again, searching for somewhere he might finally stick. Monaco, in France. 9 games, no goals. Belenenses, back in Portugal. 3 games. Aris, in Greece. A single goal. Rizespor, on the Black Sea coast of Turkey, where for a moment, 4 goals in a season, he looked alive again. He came home to try again, Philadelphia in Major League Soccer, and there were flashes, 7 goals, glimpses of the boy from 2004. But flashes are not a career, and the flashes got further and further apart. Then the map got stranger, and the crowds got smaller. Brazil, 2 games. Serbia 1, Finland 5. A second division in the United States. Every stop a little further from the bright lights he had been born into. Think about what that does to a person. Every new city, a new set of teammates who had grown up hearing your name, waiting to see if the legend was real, and slowly realizing they were just looking at a normal, tired footballer. Every transfer a smaller headline than the last. 15 clubs, 9 countries, 215 games in a career that was supposed to define an era. The boy who was going to be the next Pelé had become football's most famous cautionary tale, and he was not even 30. He never fully let go. In 2018, he was in Las Vegas, in America's second tier, still chasing it. In 2021, at 31, he signed for a third division club in Sweden and lasted barely a month before they let him go. And here is the part the highlight reels never showed. The next Pelé was never his idea. He never called himself that. It was a headline, a marketing slogan, a nation's hope, draped over the shoulders of a 14-year-old who just wanted to play. Today, he coaches kids in Maryland, the same age he was when the world decided who he had to become. And you have to wonder what he tells them on the days a scout shows up promising the earth. Because Freddy Adu could really play. That is the cruelest part. He was good, genuinely good. Good enough to have had a long, quiet, respectable career. He was just never going to be Pelé. Nobody was. His story is not a warning about talent. It is a warning about the weight we put on it and how young we are willing to put it there. A whole country handed a boy its dreams, and then it blamed the boy for not being a miracle. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Beyond the Boots for more. The boots tell the story. We just follow the footsteps.